Alright, Panther, welcome back to another exciting math. This morning we will continue with 8.3 day 2, using special factors to solve equation. Content standard. Factor a quadratic expression to reveal the zeros of the function it defines. Language objective. I will be able to solve real-world problems using factoring of perfect square trinomial and special products. Right, solving equation with special factors. Equation with special factors can be solved using the zero product properties. Remember, the zero product properties state that if the product of two factors is zero, then at least one of the factors must be zero. For example, if the quantity of x plus 1 times the quantity of x plus 9 equal to 0, then x plus 1 equal to 0 or x plus 9 equal to 0. Consequently, the solutions of the equation are x equal to -1 and x equal to -9. Okay, so for number 3, solve the following equation with special factors. Right, you can notice that we see that since this is a 2, we have two factors or two solutions. Right? Okay, so let's try this out. So 4 is the perfect square, 9 is the perfect square, so we can write this as 4x quantity square plus 2 times 4 times 3x plus 9 is the perfect square, so which is 3 squared equal to 0. So this gives us 4x plus 3 times 4x plus 3 equal to 0. So solve for x, we say that 4x plus 3 equal to 0 or 4x plus 3 equal to 0. So x equal to -3 over 4 or x equal to -3 over 4. Right? You can also see that these two give us two solutions. Here we have two solutions, but then they are the same answer. So we write this as our double roots. Okay, let's go to part B. So 25 is a perfect square, 1 is a perfect square. So rewrite this as, my mistake, as quantity 5x squared minus 1 squared. So now we have a difference of two squares, or a difference of perfect squares. Right? So this gives us 5x minus 1 times 5x plus 1 equal to 0. So we can say either 5x minus 1 equal to 0 or 5x plus 1 equal to 0. So solve for x, so x equal to 1/5 or x equal to -1/5. Okay, so can I have you guys try number 8 and number 9? Right? Saying we don't have enough room for you guys to work this out, so let's move on to the next slide. And these two are the same, number 8, number 9. So I'm going to have you guys try these two out. Okay, so number 9 and 8 and 2 have a common factor of 2, so one factor of 2. X to the 4, x to the second have a common factor of x squared. So now we have 4x squared minus 1. Right, and I needed to pay attention that since the degree is a 4, so we need 4 answers. Okay. So then inside the parentheses we have the difference of 2 squared. So this becomes 2x minus 1 times 2x plus 1. Right, so then this gives us x squared equal to 0, so x equal to 0, x equal to 0. So this is our double root. Let's solve for x here, so then x equal to 1/2, and solve x, this one, x equal to negative 1/2. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 answers. Okay, for number 5, it's saying that write the given information and manipulate it into a familiar form. Solve the equation to answer the equation about the situation. A volleyball player sets the ball in the air, and the height of the ball after t seconds is given in feet by the formula h equal to negative 16t squared plus 12t plus 6. A teammate wants to wait until the ball is 8 feet in the air before she spikes it. When should the teammate spike the ball? How many reasonable solutions are there to this problem? Explain. So when the ball is at the height of 8 feet, that means that our 8 equal to negative 16t squared plus 12t plus 6, so bring the 8 over to that side, so we have a 0 equal to negative 16t squared. My mistake, let me change that to a positive 6, so then plus 12t minus 2. And then they're all even numbers, so we can factor out a negative 2, so that gives us 8t minus 8t squared minus 6t plus 1 equal to 0. Since 2 cannot be 0, that means that this part, that 8t squared minus 6t plus 1 must be 0. So this one, we can factor this out from 8.2, right? Okay, so let's try, we need a 6. So let's try 2t and 4t, and a negative 1 and a negative 1 equal to 0. That means that 2t minus 1 equal to 0, or 4t minus 1 equal to 0. So solve for t equal to 1/2 and t equal to 1/4. Right? And then we're looking for the time in second, so both answers are correct. So then we need to explain why. Right? So then think in terms of you setting the ball at a volleyball game. So the ball is going to go up, the ball is going to go up and then back down. So here, when t is at 1/4 second, the height is 8 feet. So then the ball is going up. And then when you get to here, when t equal to 1/2 of a second, the height is also 8 feet, but the ball is on its way down. Right? So the teammate can hit the ball, can spike the ball when it's on the way up, or wait for the ball to be on its way down at 1/2 a second. Okay, let's go on. This is the same one. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Number 11. The height of a model rocket is given in centimeters by the formula h equal to negative 490t squared, where t is measured in seconds, and h equal to 0 referred to its original height at the top of a mountain. It begins to fly down from the mountain top at time t equal to 0. When has the rocket descend 490 centimeters? Right. So descent means it's going down. So we have a negative 490 equal to negative 490t squared. So to solve it, we divide both sides by negative 490 divided by negative 490. So here is 1 equal to t squared. So here you can solve it by taking the square root of both sides. Right, so then we have learned that this gives us plus or minus 1, and t, the square and the square root, they cancel out to give us t, so t equal to negative 1 second, or t equal to 1 second. Since t is in terms of second, so then we cannot have a negative second, so we can cross those out, so the answer will be after 1 second. Right, number 7. So can have you guys try this out, and I'll give you the answer in a minute. Okay, so here I do not like the negative 16 in front. So what I do is that I can factor out a negative 1, so they give me 16t squared minus 8t plus 1 equal to 0. So then I can factor this part out. So 16 is a perfect square, so we can write as 4t and 4t. And a positive 1, so we need, and a negative 8, so we need negative 1 and negative 1 equal to 0. So solve for, so t equal to 1 over 4. Okay. Right, let's try another one. Right, so similar to the other one, I do not like the negative 16, so I'm going to factor a negative 1. So then this one can be factored, saying 4t and 4t, and my mistake, that's an 81, so I can have a negative 9 and a negative 9. Right, so the answer will be t, 4t minus 9 equal to 0, so t equal to 9 over 4 seconds. Okay, so that's the end of day 8.3, day 2 notes. So your assignment is number 2 to 12 events, number 17 and 18, and you are to finish your HRW 8.3 and turn them in. All right, guys, have a good day and always be safe.